Hi, welcome back. We are working on the Unit 8 transformation test review. We've already done page 1, we've done page 2, and so now we're moving on to page 3. Parallelogram WBMP is reflected across y equals 2 and then translated 3 units right. What are the coordinates of W double prime, V double prime, M double prime, and P double prime? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my rule. I'm going to have my pre-image, and then I'm going to translate 3 units. I'm going to, oh sorry, I'm not going to translate next. I'm going to reflect across y equals 2. And then I'm going to translate 3 units right. Okay, so this one, my pre-image points are W, B, M, and P. Here's my pre-image. And W is at -6, -3. B is at -2, -2. M is at -3, -6. And P is at -7, -7. The first thing I'm going to do is reflect across the line y equals 2. Y is just a number. If I look at my formula chart and I see here reflection, y equals 2 isn't an option, but I do have y equals a number. So I know that's going to graph as a horizontal line, which means I don't have one of these fancy little rules. I just have to really do this one by hand. Okay, so I have to graph that horizontal line, and then every point has to reflect to the other side of it. Okay, so that's the first thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to graph y equals 2, which my formula chart told me it's a horizontal line where y is 2. So here's y is 2 on the y-axis. So I'm reflecting across this line right here. This is y equals 2. So everything's going to move the same number of points that it is below that line to above that line. So B is 1, 2, 3, 4 below. So 1, 2, 3, 4 above. M, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is M prime. This was B prime. W, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. W prime. P, I think that one's going to fall off the graph, but let's move it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's okay. 9. This is P prime. So when I reflect in y equals 2, my new point W right here is at -6, 7. B prime is at -2, 6. M prime is at -3, 10. And P prime is at -7, and we had to go 1 above, so -7, 11. Okay, so there are my pit stop formulas, or my pit stop coordinates. Okay, now I'm ready to go to my final answers. My W double prime, B double prime, M double prime, and P double prime. And we're going to translate just 3 units to the right, so we're not going up or down at all. So if I'm moving to the right, that means I'm adding 3 to the x, and I'm not changing y at all, because I'm not moving up or down at all. Okay? All right, so if I add 3 here, I'm going to end up at -3. My y is not going to change. B, if I add 3 to -2, I'm going to end up at 1. and my 6 is going to stay where it is. M, when I add 3 to negative 3, I end up at 0, 10. And P, when I add 3 to negative 7, I end up at negative 4, and we stay at 11. And again, all my points were just moving 3 units to the right. So W moved 3 units to the right, so that it was at negative 3, 7. That is now W double prime. B is at 1, 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 units from B prime. Double prime. M is at 0, 10. Because it moved 3 units from M prime. And P is going to move 3 units right. 1, 2, 3. Here is P double prime. Here is the graph of my new image. And these are the coordinates. Okay? Let's look at number 9. Number 9 wants me to describe the transformations that take place, that take the pre-image to the double prime image. Okay? So I've got B's, I've got B prime, I've got B double prime. I want to figure out how I'm getting from here to here, and then from here to here. Okay? Well, this is already counted for me, so that's kind of nice. It already tells me I'm moving 10 to the right. So I know the geometric term for moving 10 to the right is translate 10 units right. And then what did I do to get from this figure to this figure? So my B moved up 2 units, my C moved up a lot further than that, and then my A moved up also. But notice everything kind of flipped over, and it flipped over the x-axis. So it was reflecting, so reflect, so we can say then, translate 10 units right, then reflect over the x-axis. Okay? So that is the description of what is happening in that picture. Number 10, for each one of these, they want me to do the same thing. Just describe the change in each transformation below. So here I can see that xy is transforming by increasing the x by 2, which is just going to translate my figure 2 units to the right. So we're going to move, not mover, move right 2 units is all that letter A is doing. B, a dilation with a scale factor of 1/2. What's going to happen with my figure when I dilate it by a scale factor of 1/2? It's going to be a reduction. So my change in my figure is going to be a reduction. Okay? Letter C, if I do xy, transform so that x plus 0 and y plus 0. So I'm not adding anything to x and I'm not adding anything to y. That means no transformation is taking place. I'm not moving anywhere. Okay, I end up right back where I started. When I add 0, I'm right where I was. When I add 0, I'm right where I was. Okay? When I look at D, rotating 360 degrees, well, that's also not going to give me a transformation because I'm going to end up right back where I started. So no transformation happens. Okay? When I look at the next one, I can see that it says xy becomes the opposite of y, x. And I don't know that off the top of my head, so I'm going to go look at my formula chart and see where do I see the opposite of y, x. So when I look, the opposite of y, x, the opposite of y, right here, the opposite of y, x is a rotation of 90 degrees. So this is a 90-degree rotation. Okay, and then what happens if you reflect across the x-axis twice? Well, if you reflect once, it moves you to the other side, and if you reflect across that same axis again, it's going to move you right back to where you were. So again, no transformation happens. You end up right back where you were. Okay, so on these three, your image and the pre-image are in the same locations. Okay? All right, in the next video, we will look at the next page of our review. Thanks for watching. Come on back for the next one.